Hello everyone, Mark here, Off Grid Medic. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about a topic that is, I hope it's very controversial, to be honest with you. This is a discussion that we need to have as a culture, and I hope that this video kind of opens up the doors and so that we can talk about this. We're going to talk about medical kit mentality. Why you carry what you carry. So, to begin with, for years people have always asked me, Mark, what is in your medical kit? And I just kind of chuckle because my medical kit, well, if I'm working as a street paramedic, my medical kit's $250,000 worth of gear and equipment and drugs inside of a big metal box with blinky lights on the outside of it going down the road. If I'm working as a contract medic, then everything fits into a StatPack's 36-liter G3 pack. If I'm out in the woods, everything fits into a Ziploc bag. So I really sat down and I really took a long, hard look. And I asked myself a lot of really tough questions about why we carry what we carry. I think that we as a culture, we are conditioned to think that the more money that we spend on something, the better it is. And that is simply not true. If you look at most first aid kits, and I put that in air quotes because I don't even use that term because we're so beyond first aid, it doesn't even matter. But if you look at the commercial medical kits or the commercial first aid kits that are out there, one of the first things that you'll notice is that the majority of them are sold by the number of pieces that are inside the kit. So someone will automatically think that a kit that has 200 pieces is inferior to a kit that has 350 pieces in it. But then you actually get to looking at what's in that kit. And you find out that, this one has 2 safety pins, this one has 10 safety pins. In 30 plus years of emergency medicine, you know how many times I've used a safety pin? 0. They're junk, trash. But Mark, wait, in a survival situation, you could use one as a fish hook. I call BS on that because I've tried it. The fish will straighten it out every single time. So there's a lot of bad information out there. But again, there's this perceived value of, the more we spend, the more we get. And I want to kind of test that theory today. I want to put this to the test and actually prove that wrong. The conclusion that I came to was, why do we carry what we carry? That was the first question that I asked myself. And what it all came down to was realizing that the mission dictated the equipment. Why did I need $250,000 worth of stuff whenever I'm working on an ambulance? Because the expectation is that we are going to respond to anything. You might deliver a baby at 8 o'clock in the morning. You may shut down the interstate and land a helicopter on it for a multi-vehicle motor vehicle accident. At 11 o'clock in the morning, you may land a helicopter. You may work a cardiac arrest at 2 o'clock, and then a stroke at 4 o'clock, and then a gunshot or a stabbing at 6 o'clock, an overdose at 10 o'clock, and the cycle just repeats. So being in that role, you have to be ready for anything and everything. That's why you need that much stuff. If you look at, let's say, the tactical community, okay? Tactical medicine, you know that the environment that you're going into, there's going to be a higher than normal probability of gunshot wounds, blast injuries, and burns. So your medical kit evolves around those three foci, I guess. But in wilderness medicine, you do not have the luxury of having all this equipment. You only have what you take in with you. And as a general rule, I like to go in small, light, keeps me unburdened by having, you know, this giant medical pack with me that I'm probably not going to need. But what I got to doing is I got to looking at, okay, what are the commonalities between what's on an ambulance, what's in my contractor bag, and what's in my wilderness bag. And the commonalities that I came to, it all came down to, what are we treating? Okay? So in wilderness medicine, or in emergency medicine in general, things can go from really mild, easygoing to absolute chaos just in a matter of seconds. So we like to keep things simple. We like to use a lot of mnemonics. We use some abbreviations and whatnot. For anyone who's taken the class, you guys already, or any of our programs, you guys already know this, or at least you better. But if we look at the biggest one, it is it's an easy way to identify life threats, and that is just by looking at issues with the airway, issues with breathing, issues with circulation, deformity/disability, or the environment. And I would challenge anyone to give me a cause of death that does not fall into one of those 5 categories. I do not think that you can do it. I really don't. So on the ambulance, everything that we carry revolves around these 5 things. My contractor bag, everything that I carry, right around these 5 things. My ultralight wilderness pack, the one that fits in a quart-sized Ziploc bag, everything falls into these 5 categories as well. So it's not what you carry, it's what you can treat. Now I'm going to repeat that because this is going to blow your mind here, okay? Think about your medical kit right now. Think about what's in it. And think about why you're carrying what you're carrying. And I guarantee you, at least half of you out there, even secretly, you're going to be shaking your heads going, yeah, I don't need this in there. Or I have way too many of these and that I don't need. So everything comes down to airway, breathing, circulation, disability, deformity, and the environment. So think about what you can treat and why you're carrying what you're carrying. We're going to reposition the camera. I'm going to bring out my ultralight medical kit, and everyone can actually, we're just going to go through this piece by piece so that everyone can actually see and kind of go back to, okay, is there anything that Mark carries that does not fit into one of these 5 categories? And is there anything that happens out here that he cannot treat, that he does not have covered in his medical kit by using this medical kit mentality? All right, so this is my Wilderness Ultralight medical kit right here. Not much to it, right? Remember, airway, breathing, circulation, disability/deformity, and environment. One of those 5, or a combination of those 5, is what's going to kill you. First of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this whole kit, I'm just going to dump it right here. And then we're going to start going through it. We're going to start actually dissecting everything that's in here. And I'm going to explain to you why I carry what I carry. Number 1, let's look at the packaging itself. What is this? Ziploc bag, right? Before I even get into this, I want to make sure that everyone understands I am not compensated or endorsed by any company out there. There's not a manufacturer out there that endorses us. Some of them I wish that they would. Ziploc, if you're watching, we can always use more of these, okay? But there is not a single company out there that actually pays us or compensates us in any way for us to talk good about their products. So, having said that, what is this? Common Ziploc bag, right? What else is it? Well, it's also an absolutely dandy piece of personal protective equipment. That's a glove, all right? This, to a certain extent, is actually better than commercial gloves. Have you ever taken a commercial glove and put it on, gotten it dirty, and then tried to get something out of your bag or try to write something down? Can't do it. You take the glove off, it's got nastiness on it, it's shot. You have to get another glove. In the wilderness, we have a very finite set of resources. So I will use these, but I'll use them on my non-dominant hand. I can use my right hand, which I'm right-handed, so this is my dominant hand. I can use this to check a pulse. I can use this to apply pressure for a bleed. And I can also slide my hand out of that bag. I have a clean hand. I can dig into my bag, the patient's bag. I can write down notes. I can use blood pressure cuff, whatever. And then I can slide that hand right back into it again, okay? So the packaging itself actually becomes part of your medical kit. Now, this is not just a Ziploc bag, and it's not just a piece of PPE. It's also a hot pack, it's also a cold pack, it's also a chest seal, it's also an irrigation syringe. You're only limited by your imagination out here in the wilderness. So, the packaging itself serves a purpose more than just being a container. Let's talk about airway. Because of my level of training, I can use what's referred to as an oropharyngeal airway, or an OPA. You can find these online. They come in lots of different sizes. This is actually the most common size for adults. It's measured by going from the tip of the earlobe to the corner of the mouth. And if I have a patient who is unresponsive, not breathing, then instead of having to do the head tilt chin lift, and because I don't have that much equipment with me, I can drop an OPA. That airway is considered open. Okay, it's not secured, but it is open. So this takes care of airway. This is actually the only piece of single function kit that I carry. Everything else here has more purposes than just that one. So airway, done. Breathing. I like to carry the little pocket masks. You can pick these up for $1 a piece online. So this is a little pocket mask with a one-way valve in it. You open it up, it'll say operator side. There we go, there's operator side. So this goes over the patient's mouth, and then the two little pieces of elastic hook around the ears, and you end up with a one-way valve here where you can blow air in, but nothing's going to come back out through the valve. So what else is this? It makes a great chest seal. It has a built-in valve. Think about it, okay? So even this, multifunctional again. So this takes care of breathing. With this, I am protected from any, nasty germs or diseases that the patient may have, and it keeps all that nasty stuff off me. Matter of fact, the little pouch that this fits in is actually larger than and heavier than the mask itself, but I do want to protect that from any punctures or abrasions or anything like that. So, airway's taken care of. Breathing's taken care of. Next is circulation. Let's look at the worst case. We need a commercial tourniquet. I actually wear, this is a Parabelt tourniquet. It's manufactured by a company called RevMedics. This is the 2 inch, inch and 3/4, commercial, FDA approved, TSA approved, so you can fly with this. This is a commercial tourniquet that is made to be a multi-use item by wearing it to hold your pants up as well. And the way that this actually works put it on, feed that back through there, and then you basically cinch. And as you cinch down, you can actually see it getting tighter. But again, we will demonstrate how to make improvised tourniquets in our programs, but I will tell you, if you ever have to make an improvised tourniquet, it takes a lot of time, and you can never find that stick that you really want, the one that you need for the windlass. So this piece of gear right here, again, multi-purpose, holds up my pants, and it's a commercial tourniquet that can be applied in a matter of seconds, and seconds do matter. Also with circulation, I see a lot of kits out there. There's bandages and band-aids and I mean, it's like you're going to war, you know. Keep in mind, the only thing that has to be sterile is the part that's actually touching the wound. Once you get that first sterile layer on there, it doesn't matter if you use last week's dirty socks to wrap around that. As long as that one layer that's closest to the skin is sterile, if it's available, then you're covered. So because of that, I carry two 4-inch by 4-inch gauze pads. These are sterile gauze, and these are These are 12 ply. So if I take that 4-inch by 4-inch and I unfold it, then I've got a 4-inch by 8-inch 6 ply. And if I unfold it one more time, then I have an 8-inch by 8-inch 3 ply. You can kind of see how the math works, all right? So 2 of these takes care of most of the needs out there. I will carry one little roll of non-sterile gauze, and simply because this has so many applications, all right? This is not just gauze. This also becomes cordage in a pinch. I have used a roll like this to actually secure a splint. Again, you're only limited by your imagination in wilderness medicine. So that covers C, circulation. D, disability/deformity. What are you talking about, Mark? Again, wilderness medicine, you have to change your way of thinking a little bit. If you are 5 miles into a loop trail and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on December the 5th, and you're in anywhere really in the lower 48, you know that you've only got maybe 4 to 5 hours of daylight left. If you roll an ankle and all of a sudden, instead of averaging 2 to 3 miles per hour, now you can only get, a half a mile, maybe a mile an hour, that actually becomes a life threat. That's why we use the D on the board for disability/deformity. So the only thing that I carry for that is a very short piece of paracord. This is actually 7-strand, but that's all that I carry, because everything that I need out here to deal with a possible fracture, to deal with a painful, swollen, deformed extremity, it's all around us, okay? Our cordage is here, our sticks are here, our rigid structures are here. You just have to open your eyes and know how to use it. So D, again, that's all I carry. That's it. That brings us to E. E is environment, okay? Hypothermia will kill you. Straight, that's just facts, okay? I carry a reflective blanket. This one is 50 inches by 86 inches. Weighs probably ounce and a half tops. But that takes care of E. I can use this to make something like a Moore's super shelter. I can use this as part of a hypothermia wrap. Again, I can use this as a signaling device. Again, it's multiple uses, right? Let's jump back here to gloves for a minute. I do carry 3 gloves. And if you notice, they're all different colors and none of them are black. The reason that I do not wear black gloves is because body fluids do not show up on black gloves. For those of you who carry black gloves because you think you're being sneaky, as a matter of fact, the name brand's actually Ninja. Go figure. Trust me, if you're needed, everybody's going to know that you're there, okay? The gloves aren't, they have that tactical factor, but that's about it. So, but I do carry 3 different colors of gloves. Number one, these can be used as signaling devices depending upon the season. And also because they are 3 different colors, if I really want to get inventive, let's say I come up on something like a group of climbers that have fallen, okay? Or a group of canoers or kayakers that all got in the water at the same time, and everyone, I've got 8 patients, 10 patients, whatever. I can actually use these as ways of, okay, this is going to be my immediate, this is going to be my delayed, this is going to be my walking wounded. So I can actually use these as a way to mark off my triage areas as well. So, all right, next we have, let's see, I do carry a little bit of duct tape. I like to carry mine folded up like this. A lot of debate in the community out there on whether silver is better than black or whatever. Does not matter. What are you looking for? You're looking for something that's sticky and waterproof. It's that simple, okay? On the inside of the first fold, I keep a curved sewing needle. That's for not only my gear, but also for improvised wound closures, things like that. So that's about the best way that I have found to be able to protect that and keep that from puncturing the bag, etc. All right, next on down the list, a very small pair of tweezers. Mark, where does tweezers fall into A, B, C, D, E? Well, ticks. Ticks are the perfect vector for a lot of really nasty diseases, okay? I cannot tell you how many ticks I've pulled with this little pair of tweezers right here. At a primitive skills gathering in Arkansas about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I want to say I pulled like 64 in one day. It was ridiculous. But a good pair of tweezers. So that actually falls into the environmental category. One thing that I like about this brand is the plastic case that you keep them in is actually marked off in milliliter or cc graduations. So we've got that. Let's see. I carry a couple of packs of mustard. Mustard is a strong alkaline substance, okay? One of the things that we've learned from the Spec Ops guys that have been over in Sandbox is muscle cramps equals mustard. You get muscle cramps in those legs whenever you're hiking, a couple packs of mustard, it helps to relieve the pain because it takes those acids and it basically neutralizes them because it's such a strong alkaline substance. Next, we've got 2 25 milligram tablets of Benadryl or diphenhydramine. Okay, again, this falls into the environmental category, also falls into the breathing category. The mustard would actually fall into the circulation category. We've got 2, 3, 4 500 milligram aspirin, or I'm sorry, 500 milligram acetaminophen tablets here. Acetaminophen is actually the drug of choice in the wilderness environment. You want to know what acetaminophen is? It's Tylenol. That's all it is. You learn to shop using those generic names and you'll save yourself a lot of money, trust me. But that's what you're looking for right there. I do carry the equivalent of about 1 teaspoon of table salt. And I do this for electrolyte purposes. If I take table salt and I combine it with pure sugar, and I combine these two with water, I actually have a electrolyte solution, or I have just made my own Gatorade. So this right here will help with exertional hyponatremia and prevents a lot of problems. Come across a diabetic patient, sugar can be used for that as well. We'll also carry a couple of packs of honey. Now keep in mind that there is a difference between honey flavored syrup and pure honey. Make sure that what you're carrying is pure honey. All right. Honey, not only does it go great on biscuits, but it also has antibacterial properties, and it helps with low blood sugar as well. So you get three benefits out of this little pack right here. I will also carry a single-use Purell hand wipe. If I end up with something wet and sticky on me that's not mine, then I can end up using this to actually get it off, especially if we're in a remote environment, and I can end up using this to kind of minimize my chances of actually getting infected with something. And then the very last thing that's in this kit is a small pencil, a little golf pencil. All right, I can take my golf pencil and I can take the wrapper off of a 4x4 and I can actually make soap notes right on this. I do not have to worry about this being a pen. If it's a pen, trust me, it's gonna run out of ink. All right, you're gonna go up or down in altitude and it's gonna leak, all right? That's the good thing about good old reliable pencils, all right? In a pinch, this becomes a fire source, but the main thing is I can field sharpen this, and then I can use the inside of my package from my 4x4 to actually make all my notes, keep track of my vital signs, everything else. So, in essence, this is medical kit mentality. Now, here's where I'm gonna blow your mind. What do you think all this cost? Well, let's go through it. I've got 3 gloves. You can pick these up anywhere, literally pennies, okay? You can pick up an assortment of these on Amazon for about $7. You only need 1, but you can pick up an assortment of 10 for about $7. This right here, about 26 cents in bulk. This right here, $1. These, about 18 cents in bulk. Paracord, free. Emergency blanket, $2, maybe $3. Ziploc bag, probably got a whole drawer of them at the house. All you have to do is go find the right one, right? Little pair of tweezers, about $5. Anywhere that sells lottery tickets also gives these away. I shouldn't say sells them. You can find these at any retailer who sells lottery tickets. Duct tape. Who doesn't have a roll of duct tape laying around? If you don't have a needle, easy fix. Go to Walmart, pick up an assortment of curved needles. Again, pennies on the dollar. Mustard. It's in your to-go bag every time you go to a restaurant, right? Single packages of diphenhydramine and acetaminophen. You can pick these up for pennies on the dollar. Sugar, salt. They give these away at your local gas station, at your local convenience store, your local corner store. Pure honey, exact same thing. It's considered a condiment. They'll be more than happy to give you some if you ask for it. The same organization or the same company that will give you this will also give you these. You just have to ask for them. Again, Purell single-use hand wipes. So again, think about what you're carrying and why you're carrying it, okay? Think about what your limitations are, and I'm hoping that you will come to the same conclusion that I did, and that is that no 2 medical kits should actually be the same. My medical kit is designed around my knowledge, skills, and abilities and experience. Your medical kit should be just as unique to you as, let's say, your fire kit is, or your survival kit is, okay? Your bug out bag is. There is no one size fits all that's out there. And again, I think that we have been duped into this because of our consumerism type mentality. We think that we go out, we spend $800 for something, it's going to take care of all of our problems. It doesn't. Quite often, unfortunately, the best part of a commercial medical kit is the container that it comes in. They make great duffel bags. That's about it. So, in closing, I told you everything here was multiple use. Hey, take your Purell hand wipe. It's a wet, rainy day. Need to get a fire going. Set that down. Pull out your ferro rod and your blade. Don't make a liar out of me now. There we go. And now you have a fire extender. So your medical kit actually becomes part of your fire kit as well. You guys, thank you so much. Again, I look forward to your comments. I look forward to opening up the dialogue, opening up the discussion on why we carry what we carry. And again, I think it's one of these things where we've all really been misled. Would love to hear your feelings about this. Please feel free to leave comments. Just keep them clean, okay? For everyone out there, thank you so much for your time. I hope that this was informative for you. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subs, and stand by because we've got more great material that's going to be coming your way. Thanks again. Until our trails cross.